I've been obsessed with something for the past couple hours. Last night, I published a blog on examiner.com, and the blog was insanely positive toward the gay community.
It was insanely positive.
No, because, I mean, I think if you've watched the show several times, you know that I love the gay community. I'm always sticking up for them. You know, and I wrote a blog. No, I am.
Some of your best friends are gay.
No, but I wrote a blog about gay adoption and how gay individuals should have the right to adopt, because there was a study done that shows that children with gay parents do just as well as children with straight parents in school.
Only the most logical thing I've ever heard.
Right.
And I'm sure you got a lot of love from the gay community.
No, I actually got a lot of hate from the gay community.
What happened now?
So I'm wondering, you know, what's going on? Why are they so upset? And they didn't like my use of the term homosexual, which I always thought was totally PC. I always thought there were no problems with it.
Did you say homosexual?
I did.
How could you say the H word?
No, okay. So, look, when
I am deeply disappointed in you.
I know. I'm disappointed in myself.
Okay.
Now, look, when I got that criticism, my initial reaction was anger.
Okay. Okay, first of all, any criticism towards Anna Kasparian, the initial reaction will almost always be anger.
No, it won't.
No.
No.
No, it won't. Just in this rare instance, that's what happened to happen. All right. So then what happened?
So I wanted to understand why homosexual is not a politically correct term, okay? I wanted someone to explain it to me. I wanted proof for why it's politically incorrect. I talked to Tom about it, and every time Tom tried to explain it to me, I would yell over him, so he kind of just gave up. But the one thing that he did get through to me, or one point that he made clear, was that homosexual has some sort of negative connotation. In other words, a lot of right-wingers use homosexual to dehumanize gays, okay?
Yeah. Not buying it at all.
At that
at
point,
all. Not even close.
At that point, I was not buying it either. So I took to the internet and I did some research to find out why there's this negative connotation. I needed someone to convince me with something real.
Okay.
And I found a CBS New York Times poll from back in February of 2010.
Okay.
Okay? Now, this poll is amazing, okay, because it asked the participants two questions. Both questions are the same, but the wording is different. So let me read you the first question.
Okay.
The first question is, do you favor or oppose gay men and lesbians serving in the military? Okay? 60% of the respondents answering agreed that they have no problem with gays and lesbians serving in the military. 60%.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. In the same survey, they asked the same question, except they worded it this way. Do you favor or oppose homosexuals from serving in the military? Only 44% supported homosexuals in the military.
Okay. Look.
So there is this negative connotation that I was 100% unaware of.
I hear you. Still not buying it. Okay. Now, let me explain. Look, that's compelling, and I get it, and that's a real problem, right? Now, the problem is, whatever the word is, right-wingers are going to try to make it evil, right? So they say, oh, liberal, and people now run from liberal, and they say, oh, well, the liberal has a negative connotation because Rush Limbaugh said it was dirty, right? Homosexual has a negative connotation because the right-wingers made it dirty. But the thing is, homosexual describes something. People who are homosexual. If you came up with a new word for it, now I understand gay and lesbians working okay. My guess is that a lot of Americans looked at that and was like, oh, lesbians? Yeah, well, I'm in favor of lesbians. Where? In the military? Okay, sure, in the military. Fine, in the local bar, in the military, I'm in favor, right? Okay, so at least that has a positive connotation, partly thanks to another talk show host by the name of Howard Stern. Okay, now, having said that, pick a new word, LGBT community. And there will be a poll done 10 years from now, and LGBT will be considered wrong and a negative connotation because Glenn Beck put it on a chalkboard and said, LGBT, connected to Van Jones, connected to Mao, right? So there's no end to it. And I'm drawing the line. Homosexual is a perfectly fine word. And I'll go the opposite way and say, let's defend that turf. Okay, these people are homosexual. There's nothing wrong with it. Stand your ground. And if somebody tells me homosexual is offensive, I can't use it anymore. I can't take it anymore, man. There's too many illegal words. And, you know, maybe I'm going to be one of those old school people one day, and I'm going to get stuck in my old ways. And I'm going to be like those people who walk around still saying Oriental or Chinaman, right? And say, well, when I was growing up, we used to call them Chinaman, right? And I get it. And if you're too obstinate, you risk that, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I got to draw a line somewhere, man. Because you
Right.
keep changing the word. No. Okay, F word, that's out. I get it, right?
Right.
Gay, homosexual, it's totally fine.
Well, what people who are offended to homosexual, what their argument would be to you is that language changes all the time, and that the phrase or the term homosexual is archaic, and we should get over it.
No, not going to do it. I mean, society might force me over the next couple of years if everybody goes in that direction. At some point, you got to play along, I guess. But right now, I'm holding my ground. I'm not moving. I'm using homosexual. There's nothing wrong with that word. It does not have a negative connotation. And I'm just tired of changing the words. Okay? That's it.
All right.
Can I get a hell yes on this? Can I get a yes? Okay. The Supreme Court agrees. JR and Jesus on my side. Anna, earlier when she was angry, was also on my side. So
No, look, I'm not saying that I've changed my opinion. I'm just saying now I kind of see how that word could be changed. I could see how the connotation is starting to change. Whereas before, I wasn't even buying it. Like, I didn't care. I was like, you guys are crazy. I like the gay community, and you guys need to all be quiet.
Okay, now she goes too far in the opposite direction.
I don't know. It's just fighting the wrong battle. You know, you get mad because someone used it. You know that sucks now. You can't use that word. Use that anger. I mean, not necessarily that anger, but that energy to be like, fuck you. I'm going to keep calling it this. You can try and demonize it all you want because, as you were saying, come up with a new word. And they're going to demonize that one too because they hate you. That's all there's to it.
That's the bottom line. That's the problem. And that's what we're going to overcome. So I want to change that poll, but I want to change it in the opposite way. It's until we ask the question, hey, are you in favor of homosexuals in the military or wherever else? And people go, oh, of course I am. What would be wrong with homosexuals? God bless. Go forward. Right? Let's give it a shot, see what happens.